The year was 1898, and the Wild West was quickly becoming less wild and a lot less free. For men looking to settle down, it was getting harder to find a partner. If you lived in a small town like Jeremiah Baker, your options were limited to the women within walking distance. And if you lived in a big city, well, there were lots of women there too, but most of them were already taken. And even if you could find an eligible single woman, she might not want to marry you. Back then, it was considered improper for a woman to work outside the home unless she absolutely had to. And with so few available jobs, it was hard for a guy to prove himself worthy of his lady's hand in marriage. But there was always one surefire way to find a wife: mail order. You put an advertisement in a national newspaper or magazine describing yourself and the kind of woman you'd like to marry. Then you sat back and waited for the letters to arrive. The idea was that if two people could put aside their physical differences and focus on their compatibility in other areas, they'd be much more likely to fall in love. It was also a great way to get your hands on some free publicity. After all, who wouldn't want to read about a handsome rancher looking for his soulmate? Jeremiah Baker did. He sat down at his kitchen table, took a deep breath, and wrote, "Dear Sir, I am a hard-working man of faith. My farm is in need of a good, God-fearing woman who is not afraid of hard work. I would prefer someone with some experience in farming and a little city polish. If you are interested, please write to me at the address below." He signed the letter with his name and address and then sat back to wait for the replies. It wasn't long before the first letter arrived. In fact, it came just 3 days after he'd sent out his request. The handwriting was beautiful, and the letter itself was filled with charm. Jeremiah smiled as he read the words. "Dear Mr. Baker, your advertisement in the Farmer's Gazette caught my attention. I have been working as a governess for the past 3 years, but I am eager to settle down and start a family. I am a good cook and seamstress, and I am confident that I can make a valuable contribution to your farm. I have enclosed a photograph for your review. Please let me know if you think I would be a good fit for your family. Sincerely, Elizabeth Willingham." With a letter like that, how could he resist? He opened the envelope and took out the photograph. It was the only clue as to what Elizabeth looked like. And when he saw her smiling face, he knew he wanted to meet her. Soon after, Elizabeth boarded a train bound for Jeremiah's hometown. She couldn't wait to meet the man she'd been corresponding with for months. She imagined him as tall and handsome, with a kind smile and strong arms. What she did unimagine was that he'd be sitting in a rocking chair on his porch with a shotgun across his lap. When Elizabeth stepped off the train, she was met by the most peculiar sight. A crowd of townspeople had gathered to greet her, all of them staring at her with wild expressions on their faces. Before she could even say a word, one of them, a portly woman with a tight bun, grabbed her hand and exclaimed, "You're not Elizabeth, are you? Thank God! We've been waiting for you." Elizabeth blinked in surprise. "Waiting for me? What do you mean?" The woman's eyes twinkled. "Don't play coy with us, child. We all know why you're here. Now come along. We've got work to do." Before Elizabeth could protest, she was swept up in a crowd of women and dragged into the nearest saloon. Once inside, they pushed her towards a mirror. "There now, do you see? Do you see what we see?" she asked, her voice trembling. As Elizabeth stared into the mirror, her heart sank. She didn't see a beautiful young woman looking back at her. She saw a haggard, middle-aged woman with a vacant expression and a dirty shawl. The townswomen were right. She was no one's idea of a mail-order bride, which meant only one thing. Jeremiah Baker had been expecting someone else.